Hello and welcome to the Ohio Pagans Guide. We're your hosts, Callie and Samora, and this is our guide to all things pagan in Ohio.
Today's topic is reincarnation, good versus evil, and karma.
So, what is reincarnation? It is the belief that we live multiple lives. It is a wide held belief, with it being a central tenet of Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, and Sikhism. And between the different religions, there is a debate held about the beliefs of whether it's the soul or the consciousness that is reborn. And the difference between a soul and a consciousness is the awareness of self and surroundings, while the soul is often viewed as encompassing the consciousness and other qualities like identity and personality. For the purposes of this discussion, the soul and the consciousness are considered the same thing, so we don't get confused.
Okay.
And what we're talking about being reborn is the unique energy of each person.
So, question is, do you believe in reincarnation?
I do.
And do you believe in what you just read, that it's two different states? Or do you believe it's just one in a whole?
I think it's one in a whole.
So do I.
I think it's as I said, the unique energy of each person, not necessarily a soul or a consciousness. It's the energy that makes us up. And that could, I guess, be called a soul.
I mean, yeah, I think being conscious in your soul, it both goes hand in hand. Like, they're not separate.
Yeah.
It's just you can't remember it because of whatever you went through in your past life or that transition period.
Mm-hmm. So I first want to talk about a little bit more before we get really into reincarnation about the role of good and evil. In my opinion, there is no role for good and evil to play. I believe that they simply are. There is good, there is evil, and I believe that we are all a big mess of gray.
Right.
And it's really our choice
on which one you go to.
On which one you go to, and partly determined by the culture you're born into.
Mm-hmm. Well, then that goes into the whole theory of what is good and what is evil. Like, what's good for the fly may not be good for the spider, vice versa, or something like that. But
yeah, and the whole idea that a summer breeze is nice and cooling, but that could be a tornado somewhere else.
Yep.
I don't think that there is wholly malevolent or wholly benevolent forces in the world. I think that everything has a side of gray.
A balance.
Yes. And then one of the reasons that I stopped believing in the Rede is, as you said, no act that we commit is wholly good or wholly evil. I can't make an action without harming somebody. If I eat the deer or the plant, I'm still harming something. I'm harming that plant, or I'm depriving another animal of that meal. So there's no act that I can do without causing harm.
Here's a little conundrum. You're eating a plant, but let's say you got reincarnated as a plant, therefore you're eating yourself. What if it's all just parts of yourself? That is like, there's a theory that's out there that the soul is divided into millions of little introspects. So technically, I'm a part of your soul, you're a part of my soul, and eventually we all become one. So it's all interconnected in the end.
See, I don't believe that there's a whole goal to reincarnation. I think that if you look at a cosmic scale and the natural cycles of things, there's no real end goal to the cycle of plant life.
Mm-hmm.
There's no real end goal to the cycle of the dance of the planets around the sun, the comets around the universe. And I don't think that there's an end goal to reincarnation. I just think it simply is. It just keeps happening. It's a natural phenomenon.
I think there is an end goal. I don't know what the end goal may be, but I feel like there has to be something, whether it be reaching a status of godly like within your soul, to where you're on that higher plane and able to help others, or if you're being a guide, like you've lived your life so many times that you're able to guide somebody else in their life.
So like a spirit guide.
Yeah.
I don't think that's a wrong idea. I just can't get behind it.
You can't get behind helping some poor little soul in the future.
I don't know. I just see the cycles of nature, and I just think that I don't want to say there's no purpose to reincarnation.
But here's the thing with it, though. we've got reincarnation, but sometimes what if we don't reincarnate? You go on ghost hunting trips with your dad all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So do you think that souls that are still here, or do you think it's residual? And what, like you had a EVP?
I think I haven't seen anything to prove to me that it's an actual thinking entity at this point.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what I catch with the EVPs is residual. What it really sounded like to me in that EVP that I caught was a prison guard whistling and then closing a cell door.
Right.
So I believe that that would have been residual energy, not an active spirit trying to contact me.
So in all of your endeavors, you've never heard intelligent response?
No,
Not yet.
not yet.
I have before, and I've seen residual, so I'm kind of like in between. Like, you know, could it be forces of our own will and nature? And then that's a whole different ball game. But let's get back reincarnation.
Well, I don't believe. I also don't believe, and you're saying, you've had those experiences where it doesn't seem residual; it seems intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe that we reincarnate immediately. My belief is that we go to a place of our own making where we kind of reflect
Right.
on what we've just lived. So there could be an instance where a spirit passes on, does not reincarnate, and that could be an intelligent
So with
quantity.
that theory, how long do you stay there? Is it determined by you, or is it determined by another entity?
I think it's determined by you how long you need to recover, whether you feel like you need to go back right away to finish something that maybe you didn't finish in that life, or it could be you had a really rough life and you're like, you know what, I'm
I
not
don't let it
ready.
go.
I'm not ready yet. And that's why I think it's a place of our own making. Like if you start reflecting on your life and you feel like you fucked up royally,
Mm-hmm.
then that would be your idea of hell.
Okay.
And if you felt like you lived a really good life, then that would be essentially your heaven.
Let's go to the flip side. Let's say you end up in Tartarus, and you're saying that, okay, I choose the amount of time that I'm going to be here. Well, wouldn't anybody in that situation be like, well, I'm out. Let's go reincarnate right afterwards? You know what I mean? Like, I'm not going to stay down here with all this. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I could see that. I could see that being determined by somebody else.
I think when it comes to when you pass away, I believe that your soul is judged. The Egyptians believed in it, the Greeks believed in it. I'm sure other cultures did as well, but those are the two that I'm most conscious of. And I believe that your soul is weighed after you die. I do believe that that has a factor in your reincarnation if you are reincarnated. And that's the thing too. We're thinking very small and minuscule. Like, what about being reincarnated on a different planet somewhere? We're talking about being reincarnated here. What if it's in another dimension? I mean, there's so many possibilities that you can
Mm-hmm.
go with that theory.
Yes. And I don't think we always come back as people. I think we could come back as animals or plants or something else. The idea of life on other planets is intriguing. I've never really thought about that with reincarnation, but because I'm fixed in this planet.
Well, the only reason that I thought of it is because I watch a lot of people who do channeling. They're like, oh, I channel, this person from here, or I've had communication from here, which kind of goes into more of your conspiracy theories and all that. But there is some scientific fact to it. I can't remember his name, but he does. I'll have to look it up after we're done. But he does a lot of famous bizarre or I can't remember his name, but he communicates with this other being, and they've actually like hooked him up and seen where his personality switches, like it's a whole different thing neurologically
Mm-hmm.
that happens to him, and certain parts of his brain light up that normally your brain wouldn't light up. So I think that it is possible to reach that certain phrase, but it also goes within reincarnation. Like, we look at our past traumas. Do you believe that past traumas from a past life can actually carry on to this one. Like, let's say you have a fear of swimming, then you died in the Titanic. Do you think that's something that can carry on with you?
I do, but I don't think that our past actions have an influence on our karmic debt in this life. Like, I believe in cause and effect.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe that if I do something bad is going to happen to me, but I don't think that that carries through each life. I think the slate is wiped clean
Okay.
at the beginning of each life. So I don't think that karma plays a role in every bad thing that happens to me. Like, I can't use it as an excuse to say, oh, I lost my job, I must have done something really bad in a past life. No, I
Right.
lost my job because of something I did in this life.
Right. But if we go with that still standing, the cause and effect, it happens here in this life, then there wouldn't be no Tartarus in the afterlife. Or no, like, ideal of hell, so
Yeah.
to speak. Because you're paying for it in the life that you're in.
Yeah.
It's food for thought, people.
Yeah.
I'm throwing curveballs here because I'm just like, well, let me play devil's advocate. You know what I mean?
That is the kind of conversations that I want to have, though, because it makes you think, it makes you grow. And that's, if we stay stagnant in our beliefs and we don't get that challenge, then we don't grow. And you're bringing up things that I didn't think about.
Right.
But for me, like, I don't have a Tartarus. I don't believe in a Tartarus. I don't believe in heaven or hell. I just believe.
So you just believe in something that's like neutral, or
it depends on how I feel I live my life. If I feel like I was a horrible, horrible person, then I'm going to be in a state. I'm going to have that kind of state of being in a horrible place.
now, as someone coming from the Norse pantheon, doesn't the Norse have their ideal of hell?
They have several different things. There's Niflheim, which is where you go if you died of old age or sickness, or you're a woman or a child that was not a warrior. There is a place that would be equivalent to hell that is reserved for oath breakers.
Okay.
And then you have your great halls to go to. You have Frigga's Hall, you have Valhalla, which is the
most
known. But Frigga got half of all the soldiers slain in battle that were chosen by the Valkyrie. So she has a hall for warriors as well.
Right. Most people don't really think about her, though.
Yeah. So there are your ideal places to go, like Valhalla or Frigga's Hall. I can't remember what it's called, and I'd probably butcher the pronunciation if I tried. And I believe Thor had a hall. I believe all the gods have their own hall that you could go to.
Right.
But Hell ruled over Niflheim, and Niflheim was probably more what I imagine would be where my soul rested. It's not welcoming. It's a cold place, but it's not fire and brimstone.
Right.
But it's also not summer fields.
Right.
It's just a place that you go to.
Okay. So within the Norse pantheon, I don't know if you've researched it or not, but what is their ideals for reincarnation?
I don't know that I've ever come across anything in Norse mythology regarding reincarnation. It's more like you will come back during Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you wait in whatever area you're in, and you will come back at Ragnarok to fight at Ragnarok. I don't believe that they have reincarnation.
Okay.
Somebody let me know if I'm wrong on that, but in my studies of Norse mythology, I've not come across any. The whole idea is, it's kind of like Christianity's idea of you die and you wait for the second coming of Jesus.
Right.
It's you die and you're waiting for Ragnarok to happen.
Ragnarok.
Yeah.
I got that song stuck in my head. I think with that, we've covered pretty much the basis of, good versus evil. It's very subjective to the person. We've talked about reincarnation from different, pantheons as well. Is there anything else that you want to add before we say our goodbyes?
Well, we could probably have a little bit more of an in-depth conversation about karma.
Yeah.
We talked about my beliefs. I don't believe it follows you through your lives.
I think when it comes to karma, I've seen it too much. Like, I've seen people who have instant karma, and some people that you never see them really pay for anything. So I think it just depends on the flip of the coin. Some people get it instantly, some people don't. And then you ask yourself, why does this person get to do this? Like, I mean, for instance, let's go conspiracy theory here.
Okay.
Jeffrey Epstein, look
Mhm.
at him. He supposedly killed himself.
Supposedly.
Supposedly. So you got that whole thing. Like, this guy, for generations, pretty much, got away with all this crap and all these other people. And we're still not really knowing the scope of what it's at. There's still information that is coming out. So it's like, why are we protecting people?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that goes back to people being tribal and things of that nature. So I think when it comes to karmatic debt, I think some people get it in this life and some people don't. They get it in the afterlife. At least that's what I want to believe, because some of the things I've seen people get away with is just ridiculous.
Like genocide. You
Mm-hmm.
know, if you believe in Christianity, Hitler was a devout Catholic.
I didn't know that.
He was if I'm remembering correctly, he was a devout Catholic. Now he did commit suicide, so according to Catholic rule, he would be in hell. But he was a devout Catholic. The Rwandan genocide, between the Hutsis and the Tutsis,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I don't believe that. I think it's the Hutsis that were targeted.
I think so.
I don't believe that they had a giant karmic debt on their whole race. I just think that the Tutsis were not necessarily evil people, but made evil choices.
Right.
They were very tribal, and they saw these people as other.
Here's another fun theory. Do you think karmatic debt follows generations?
And now I'm going to get into this in a different episode, but no, I'm not going to even bring it up right now. We'll go over that in another episode.
All right.
In terms of following generations, I don't think karma does. I think you can have generational trauma,
right,
that goes down the line, but I don't think that generational karmic debt is a thing either.
Even if the whole family is protecting that secret.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? That, like, karmatic effect. I know we're getting deep here, and we're getting into some, like, other stuff as well, but it's like, this is where my head goes, my train of thought, so to speak.
And that's fine. Yeah, I'm just thinking, like, if everybody's protecting Uncle George, who's a kitty diddler,
we're not laughing about that. We're just,
the phrasing. I just didn't want to say pedophile. If everybody's protecting Uncle George and they know Uncle George does things to kids and they still bring kids around Uncle George, then
there's issues.
I don't necessarily think that is going to affect karmically that generation. I think they're all going to deal with it in their own way.
But do you think that they'll get repercussions from it? Because, I mean, they're knowing that someone else is being harmed. Or has been harmed. You know what I mean? Like, it's food for thought.
It's something to think about. Definitely. I don't have an answer for that right now. I need to think on it, and come up with an answer.
Okay.
And I think that that's a perfectly acceptable answer. I think that you shouldn't just jump to a decision on something. I think you should think about it, think it through, meditate on it, research what other people might think about that subject, and then come to your own opinion.
Right.
So
that's what we all got to do, especially when it comes to the craft. Like, we can sit here and do these episodes, but realistically, we're giving you our knowledge that we have up to this moment. There's still a bunch of knowledge out there that we haven't even scrape the surface of, so keep that in mind while listening to us.
Yeah, it's our opinions that have formed over the knowledge that we have gained.
Yep.
And I think you brought it, or was it Maggie that brought it up in the group chat about not listening to influencers, being more of let's try this out and see what happens.
And I think that's another thing, that when it comes to, I think influencing is good on a certain level because it brings us out of the closet a lot more, makes us more look like we're people.
Mm-hmm.
And we have depth, and it kind of pulls that veil away from the mystery of it all. But also on the flip side, it can do a lot of harm, and it has done a lot of harm. So I think that would be one of our episodes that we do, the influence of witchcraft within history and within media.
Mm-hmm.
I think that would be a good one for us to do eventually. But I think that we've pretty much covered everything.
So, to sum up my beliefs, reincarnation is a natural phenomenon in accordance with established patterns in nature. There is no inherent good or evil in nature, so inherent good and evil cannot exist in the universe. Karma is cause and effect, but not every bad thing that happens to us is a result of karmic debt from past lives, and it is up to us to do with these truths what we will. And I look at it this way: if there are just bad people, then there are just good people. When things seem hopeless, look for the helpers, as Fred Rogers would say.
And on that note, I think that we've wrapped up reincarnation, good versus evil, and karma. And thank you guys for joining us. And make sure to follow us every full moon and new moon where we're going to be releasing episodes and mini episodes. So, with that, we bid you adieu.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Ohio Pagan's Guide. If you have questions or would like to suggest a topic we should discuss, reach out to us via email at ohiopagansguide@gmail.com or on Facebook at the Ohio Pagan's Guide.